and welcome to healthyhouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support our show, please use our Amazon affiliate link below. Today I'm going to talk about how container choice for your houseplants really affects their watering needs. And it's pretty drastic, the differences between Terra Cotta, Glazed Ceramic, and plastic. So the Terra Cotta is without a glaze. It's simply a clay mixture, a terracotta clay mixture. And that means it's extremely porous, and that means that it will let out moisture on a continual basis from all sides of the pot, the bottom of the pot. So when you plant in a terracotta pot, be ready to have to water that plant a lot more than if you use another type of pot. Now, this does help when you're trying to grow a plant that you may have a history of overwatering, because it will dry out more quickly, and then you'll be less likely to overwater it. It's also good for plants that require drying out between watering. So succulents and cactus, for instance, are really good choices for terra cotta. So there are reasons for terra cotta. I do cover this and much more in my playlist on repotting, on potting up houseplants. I go from start to finish, so if you are potting up some houseplants, I'd suggest taking a look at that. I will link to that below, as well as any other videos related to this video. Okay, so terra cotta, we've talked about that. Now you know what that is good for, and that you can expect to need to water frequently when you repot or pot up in terra cotta. Okay, the next is glazed ceramic. Now glazed ceramic is more porous than plastic. Actually, plastic isn't porous at all. So it is somewhat porous, but it's nowhere near as porous as terra cotta, okay? But you will still have to water these glazed ceramic pots more frequently than you will anything in plastic pots. You will see this plant here is in a glazed ceramic, this Dracaena. So this Dracaena, I do have to water more often than this philodendron here, which is in a plastic pot. The nice thing about the plastic pots nowadays is they do make some really pretty ones that don't even really look like plastic pots, like this one. This one I use more for when I'm growing plants and getting them bigger, and then eventually I put them into a pretty, often glazed ceramic, because my plants have to be on air nowadays and they need to look their best. So I do often use pretty glazed ceramic pots. And there's nothing wrong with that, of course. They're a great choice. You just need to keep in mind you're going to have to, if you've had them, for instance, if you've got a plant from the nursery in a plastic pot and you repot into a glazed ceramic pot, you need to expect to have to water that plant more frequently once it establishes. As I talk about in my repotting, any repotting videos I do, you do want to wait until a plant reestablishes before you start watering it again, once it starts drinking. But once it does start drinking, you're going to need to water it more frequently. So keep that in mind when you go from plastic to glazed ceramic or plastic to terra cotta especially. Now you can use cache pots, which are decorative outer containers into which you can put a plastic pot. That way you save yourself on the watering, you still have a really nice looking plant. That's another option as well, and I do have videos on cache pots as well, or cache pose is another way to say it. Okay, so now you know how the type of pot you use is going to affect your frequency of watering with your houseplants. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe and share this video, and please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.